There you are.
Okay, yeah, it says live. Okay. Let me get another name. Mm-hmm. I need to. I'm gonna. It's your drive. I need to get the PowerPoint sent to you. It's on my. I need to send it to you so you can open it.
Paula, do we know if anyone's sitting in the room waiting for us? Do you have a tab for that? Okay. We don't know.
Where are you?
Share it with me. There it is.
No.
Okay.
Where's Facebook?
Okay. Scan video. I think we're live. Sorry about that. We're 6 minutes late, but technical difficulties here. It's this is the Save Dr. Phillips, Stop Kimco, Save Dr. Phillips Summer Update 2022. It's the page. So that, having lots of technical difficulties. We thought this would be easier. So, I'm Kurt Kotzen. Too low frame rate, please set the frame. And that's Rich Maladecki.
Good evening, neighbors.
And we thought we would get together since the last time you saw us both. We were at the Rosen JCC and had our very first meeting. And now we're going to try to figure out how to share a PowerPoint and go through the update that that we would like to share with you. Fortunately, we can I can do that on my screen. Oh, we're gonna go back to your live event here. Settings, the stream viewer.
You're almost there, Kurt.
I'm almost there.
Thank you for being patient with us.
Just allowed you to communicate with us. And now, trust us, we have a PowerPoint to show you. We're just not quite sure how to share it on this thing right now. We're practicing on a different computer. Okay, it looks like we've got 13 attendees so far. People are coming in. Gonna have to trust us on this one here, guys. On the PowerPoint sharing, the first thing I wanted to do was to introduce the steering committee. Myself, Rich Maladecki here to my left. Paula Kotzen is also on the steering committee. All three of us have lived in Dr. Phillips for a very long time. I've been here since 1980. Paula has been in the Dr. Phillips neighborhood since 1982. She's a realtor here in Southwest Orlando. I am a professional civil engineer and construction manager. And Rich Maladecki has been here for
25 years this week.
And you probably know him. You've seen his name in the paper. He was the he's retired now, the director of the Hotel Motel Association. And so we're glad when this issue raised up, Rich and I met each other via Nextdoor and some of the other social media. We got together and wanted to try to wrangle this group because we thought we would have more horsepower with Orange County, that we would have more horsepower with Orange County if we could speak as a unified group. So we got together, and the first thing we did was Rich said, let's have a community meeting. We'll try to do it at the library. Well, COVID is still keeping the library from doing that. And I said, I don't think it's a great idea. I think there's too much interest, as was shown at the Rosen Event Center donated the space, and we maxed out on June 1st with over 350 people, and actually turned people away from at the door. It was a meeting that Commissioner Wilson was there, some other representatives from government, and they were shocked at the amount of interest at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since that time, we had a resident start a change.org petition, which has raised gained over 4,000 signatures.
Correct.
And 90 pages long, which we've already taken to the county commissioner. We've also, since that time at the June meeting, because a lot of people have asked, what's going on? We don't hear anything. Paula has been working we have a couple of, before I remiss, we have a couple of committee chairmen that we first appointed, Rachel Coudrier and Drew Shea, both residents of Sandpoint Townhomes, have taken on the responsibilities for social media, graphics, publicity. We've got these Stop Kimco stickers that Rachel and Drew designed and had produced. We've had one fundraiser outside at the new Tesla charging station. A couple of weeks ago, Rachel went to another location. We've had some people mail in and ask for stickers. I don't know how many exactly are out floating around, but I actually saw one on a car up in Wildwood on a business journey the other day. So that helps us raise money. It's part of the fundraising, and we will touch that a little bit later. So the other things that we've done since that first meeting was we've established an LLC for the obvious reasons to protect everybody that's working on this. We've established a bank account for any of the dollars that we collect via the GoFundMe or the fundraising efforts, the donations that come in. We've got a bank account at Regions. We have a PayPal account for people that don't like doing GoFundMe or Zelle or something else. We also have Venmo, where they can send in donations and we can transfer that to our bank accounts. The bank account, not our bank accounts.
Yeah, the bank account.
And so all of that was done, as well as designing signs for the stick-in signs that yard signs. We've got a design for that. We've also built a website and have it hosted, and it's stopkimco.com. You guys are all aware of that. So you've met us. We've told you about our committee chairs. We have told you about what has taken place since the June 1st meeting, physically, as to how do we get this animal, this machine moving forward, and those were all of the bricks and sticks that need to be accomplished. And so the rest of this agenda, and I wish I had this PowerPoint working, but I can't get the screen to share.
Yeah, but we can post that on the
We
Facebook.
will post it on there, and it has all of the information and a couple of cool graphics that
That's been completed in the
been
last
completed in the
4 or 5
last
weeks.
month. I'm going to let Rich has been communicating with government and community organizations, so I'm going to turn it over to him for now. Let him give you a short update.
Well, Kurt's going to explain a little later about the timelines that Kimco or any business has to address with Orange County in terms of zoning reclassifications. But Kurt and I have been on constant contact with our Commissioner Wilson's office, and we're doing that with both the commissioner and her aide, and they very much know that we are opposed to this. We're going to establish, this is up for discussion, we're going to establish neighborhood groups. Each neighborhood within Dr. Phillips, we're going to try to coordinate at the appropriate time community meetings where neighbors will come over, address letters to our county commissioners, and then the team captain, the person that's hosting that particular meeting in their neighborhood, will be responsible for mailing all those letters to each of the county commissioners and our mayor. Again, we're not moving forward with that at this time because we just don't know the timelines of Kimco relating to when and if they're going to look for a rezoning variance. So look for that. The Stop Kimco signs have been out selling. By the way, I've had many of my friends say to me, is this going to ruin my car? And the answer is no. We've used glue purposely that can easily peel off.
They're clean.
Yeah, at the time that we're successful, and we don't need them on our automobiles any longer. But we definitely need more. We definitely need more of those out in the Dr. Phillips community. The yard signs will get there when we know those appropriate dates. So that's where we stand. Look for our newsletter forthcoming, and then one of these newsletters, once we have better and clearer timelines from Orange County government, we will go forward with asking for these neighborhood captains to emerge to start this letter writing campaign.
Okay, thanks, Rich. We keep using this name Kimco, and I'm not so sure that everybody really knows who Kimco is. Kimco is one of the largest real estate management firms in the United States. They own or manage over 500 shopping centers within the USA. I don't know if they have any assets in Canada or not. But just in our own neighborhood, Kimco owns or manages the Dr. Phillips Marketplace, the Fresh Market Plaza at the end of Dr. Phillips Boulevard and Conroy Windermere Road. They own the Bay Hill Plaza where Sprouts and the PGA Superstore and Fresca is located. And they also own the Whole Foods Plaza at the corner of Turkey Lake and Sand Lake Road. They're listed on the they are listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and last year, as best as I can tell, they reported a net profit of over $550 million. So this is going to become truly a David and Goliath battle if they decide that they don't care about the community backlash and they want to go after it. I don't think that any of us really want to give up, but they are a monster, and the key to this update is really to tell our community that this is a long haul deal. It could be, as I get through the next process, they could not have their first hearing until April, and they haven't made the application yet. And so in April of 23. So it could be a couple of years of us staying organized, going to the public hearings, uh, keeping our facts straight, and being able to give up of everybody's own time and schedules to appear at county commission meetings or public hearings and to get involved. That's going to be Rich and Paul and I and Messenger and uh, Drew and Rachel. While we're the face of it right now, when it comes time for the public hearings, we're going to need everybody to get up and participate. The what we've learned, um, again, it's a couple of years. We got to be careful we don't get burned out. So many people want to participate in the signs and graphics and such, and we appreciate it. And we're not stalling. We're not trying to be exclusive. It's just that I think there are going to be a few more people for this letter writing going on, but we're going to stay vigilant, and we just don't want people to get burned out. And frankly, we have been right here around my house. We spend an awful lot of time on it, and um, we experienced some of the burnout. One of the neat things that we learned, I followed up with Jason at planning at Orange County, who was quoted in the original Growth Spotter article. That we had a nice conversation, and he said, "Look, the planning department is used to having neighborhoods come in and fight developments, but he said, quite frankly, he said we have not seen an effort as organized as ours is, especially considering there's not an application." Mm-hmm. So hopefully that this will bring out that Kimco will recognize this, and this may give them second thoughts as to whether or not developing the plaza is the path that they want to go down. And the process is really quite complicated for a developer to change the zoning and get. It's really quite complicated. As of today, there is no application has been filed. No application has been filed by Kimco. They met to go back on the timeline in May. Their representatives met informally with Orange County Planning, a technical review group. It's a requirement. It was a pre-application meeting, and sometimes after pre-applications, the applicants decide it's not worth going forward. It's not worth the juice. The county did advise them that they would probably face strong community backlash. This was even before we got started. And that because the parcel is in excess of 10 acres, it falls into what the county planning department calls the, quote, regular cycle for review. They only meet twice a year to review requirements, to review applications to change the future land use map.
And that's very important for us to know and to continue to monitor twice per year.
So they by being in the regular cycle, it doubles up the number of community hearings and public hearings that they have to have. They have to have 4 hearings and 4 opportunities for us to speak out against it, or for it if you happen to be watching and you think apartments are an answer. There are 4 times to get your opinion known. But the next time that they can get on the regular agenda, if they make an application on or before July 15th, would be April 2023. Then we've also learned, we believe, because nobody's really said it, that the proposed development seems to be predicated, and this is very important, it seems to be predicated on rezoning the marketplace to a planned development, a PD. The parcel consists of 5 individual, the shopping center actually consists of 5 parcels. 4 of them are on the west side of the shopping center where the apartments are proposed. And then the largest parcel is the shopping center and the parking lots that we all utilize on a regular basis. So and it's zoned C1 and it's been zoned commercial 1 since its inception, since the parking lot, the shopping center was built back in the 80s. We believe that in order to get the density or the number of units that they asked for in the growth spotter article, 874 units, that they need to get the plan development, and then a plan development allows the application of a variety of densities. So that being said, they could do as little as 10 dwelling units per acre, upwards of 40 or 50 dwelling units per acre, and that's how they do the arithmetic to come up with their number of 879. But it's not just an arithmetic issue after the future land use is amended. The county commission also has to vote on, they have to give an approval to the proposed density. So it's not like they get a rubber stamp and then they can go do what they want. They have to provide a detailed plan, and the county commission and the professional staff in Orange County all get to weigh in and determine whether or not the community can support through infrastructure, schools, etc., the project that's being proposed. The important part about this is the commission is to remember that Commissioner Wilson is only one commissioner out of 6, right? 6 commissioners, District 6. Our commissioner is only one. And while many times the other commissioners will follow the lead of the commissioner being
The host commissioner.
the host commissioner, they have the opportunity to go off on their own. I would suggest that the commissioner in District 6, I don't know who they are right now, they don't have a vested interest in the marketplace and Dr. Phillips. And so that being said, Rich and I are searching for somebody in the community. We actually found someone who has offered to host us with meetings with the commissioners on a one-by-one so that we can explain what we're doing, that it's simply not a NIMBY exercise and not in my backyard, but why we feel that this proposal by a development is not good for Dr. Phillips, it's not good for the community. So if you happen to have connections with any of the decision makers in Orange County, we'd sure like you to reach out and send an email through so that we can contact you and leverage your strengths as well in helping us educate the commissioners. I've resorted to reading off of my other iPad. The current densities, part of the process and the comprehensive plan that Orange County has on file with the state is that every development needs to have it needs to comply with the goals, and it has to comply with the goals and objectives of the county. This project doesn't currently meet any of the objectives. All of the surrounding properties are low medium density residential, which is less than 20 acres, less than 20 dwelling units per acre. There are no medium density or medium high density developments within the boundaries of the plaza. It's surrounded by commercial across the street to the north of Della Drive. To the north of Dr. Phillips Boulevard is the new assisted living and memory care unit and the library. On the other side of that street is Stonebridge. Sandpoint Townhomes is directly across the street and would be most affected by a large apartment project there to the west on Della Drive. On the other side of Dr. Phillips Boulevard on the east is the 3 or 4 story medical office building and small offices. And so none of these multifamily scenarios, and they've presented 8 of them to Orange County, fit. And most troublesome is that 2 of the scenarios include 8-story tall buildings. These 8-story buildings, if you need to visualize something that you've seen, the Drury Inn on the corner of Turkey Lake Road and Sand Lake Road is an 8-story building. Also, the larger buildings down at Westgate on Turkey Lake Road are 8-story buildings. We don't know what the architecture is like, and I'm sure that Kimco is not planning on building an apartment building that looks like the Drury Inn. But in mass, that's what they're talking about, and this is what we would explain to the commissioner and planning, how this needs to not be allowed because it changes the character. It's arguably the marketplace at Dr. Phillips is the center of our community. It's the town center, and Kimco's adding apartments to it is going to change the character of Dr. Phillips. So that's in a nutshell. That's what we've done. I've poured through the code books, and again, we're amateurs. I'm not betting everything. We will get others involved that will help us, but this is my interpretation of what they're required to do at this point, and I think we've thrown up enough concerns that I know we have Commissioner Wilson's interest, and I know that the people in the planning department are kind of listening because they were surprised with some of the nuances that I've found within the comprehensive plan. So where are we going to go from here, Rich?
Well, we're going to obviously wait for Kimco's official application. The application for the September timeframe, as Kurt indicated, is this Friday, July 15th. So that's a positive. We'll monitor that. If Kimco officially applies for September, then we will be calling everyone to action immediately. And that's when we'll go forward with the yard signs, possibly hiring an attorney to represent us, and obviously additional fundraising. If Kimco chooses not to apply for this time frame, as Kurt outlined, they would then be applying sometime in April of 23. And then we would continue to monitor this process on a monthly basis and give every interested Dr. Phillips resident an opportunity to receive our newsletters for those updates. But really, we have voiced our concern with county government, and they are very well aware of our collective effort at Dr. Phillips. And now we are waiting to see Kimco's next step.
So, and that's about where we're at. We've talked about our various fundraising efforts, and I've explained early on that we're completely accountable and open book with the accounts and where the money is currently spent and when it will be spent. And we have no. You can be sure that it will be handled professionally and honestly, and for the benefit of the Dr. Phillips community. If it turns out that Kimco folds and they're not going to go forward and there's money left, maybe we'll take a vote and figure out which community charity is most that the community would like to see the extra money go to, and we'll make a donation accordingly. But there won't be any money left in the account after when that decision's made. We're not keeping anything.
And let's hope
sidelines.
That's the decision we go.
Right.
And it's that we would have to face that Kimco realizes that there's going to be some public outcry, and that we then will see the benefit of that public outcry by them moving forward and not necessarily pushing this process through.
So that's it. We've been on, I wanted to keep it to half an hour. I don't know if, I don't know if anybody is sending in, let me see if I move off the camera here. Let's see if there's any questions.
I
Kim,
have questions.
you have a question?
You're getting written questions?
Yeah, they're
Good, thanks.
coming in.
Thanks, Paula.
Do we know if Kimco is planning another development like this one?
The question is, do we know if Kimco is planning another development like this development? We don't know that. However, the research Kurt has done indicates that Kimco has done this type of process of converting some commercial strips to residential strips in other parts of the country. So I would say that they have a track record of doing this, but we're not aware of any in the Orlando or Central Florida community.
Certainly not in the Dr. Phillips community. We have not heard, we can be parochial. I have not heard anything about a development at the Bay Hill Plaza or the Whole Foods Plaza, and certainly we haven't heard anything about the fresh market plaza. I don't think currently that they are attempting to take that on. So, next question.
Darcy LaSalle says, why not do yard signs for those who are allowed before Kimco applies for a change of zoning? Gather monthly specifically for signs now.
The question is, why not signs now? And I think the answer to that is obvious. We want signs to be on your lawns as soon as we know that Kimco is filing. If we were to put signs on the lawns now and Kimco chooses not to file their official application for the variance until April 23, we suspect those signs will disappear. So we're ready. The signs have been designed. We already have a printer in mind. We've already received quotes. But right now, we're waiting for this July 15th deadline that both Kurt and I spoke of earlier to see what actions, if needed, relating to signs is needed immediately.
Yeah, for example, there are signs for the judges out on the corner of Apopka Vineland Road. I challenge anybody to tell you the name of the judges that are stuck those signs in there.
Exactly.
So we don't want the signs, we don't want people to be numb of the signs when the time comes.
Donna Barley says, the side question, does anyone know the status of the Dr. Phillips ball fields, any connection with Kimco?
The Dr. Phillips ball fields is an issue that has been facing our community for a number of years.